Hi folks, let's cover how to create a transaction in Skyslope. This is typically what you'll want to do if you're not representing the seller but instead representing the buyer. So you want to create a property transaction representing that potential sale. If you're an agent, you'll have a create transaction button right here on your front page. If you're an admin, you would have to go to the manage transactions page and find a button there. So here as an agent, let's click that button to get started. Let's click it once. This window comes up. First thing it's going to ask you for is a search for the address. This is just so that you can search the address via one of your integrations and autofill some of the fields. So I'm going to start typing the address here. Now notice it searches automatically as you type. So I'm going to keep typing until I see the match that I want. And there it is, right here in Sacramento. Once you see that match, single click it to select it. It'll search the rest of your integrations and tell you if it's found more information. So if we were integrated with zip forms and this file, we created it in zip forms, we would be able to select it right there and pre-fill some of the information. But we don't, so we're going to go ahead and use the integration with Google Maps that everyone has. So click on that and it'll pull over whatever it can about the address from Google. Notice anything related to the sale is not filled in, so we're going to have to enter that stuff manually. So everything that red asterisk next to it means you need it in order to progress to the next page. Nothing marked red can be skipped. So top right, we've got your office. You may have this option if your agent account is integrated with multiple offices at your brokerage. If you're a single office, then you won't have this, so don't worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and choose Sacramento. Right below that, we got our checklist type. This is very important. This essentially dictates what type of property this is going to be and what type of documents are going to be required for it. So go ahead and single click on that and see what we've got. As you can see, you've got various options here. Every office is going to be a little different. So we chose a lot land sale. Now over here in MLS, if you have it, great, punch it in here. If you don't have the MLS number, don't worry. You can typically put NA or some zeros to fill it for now. Scroll down, make sure more red fields look good. Sale price, let's click here and punch in something. Alright, so once you've got your number in there, what I like to do is hit the tab key in my keyboard just to jump to the next box. It confirms what we just typed. So now we're in year built. Since this is a lot land, it's not required, but I'm going to go ahead and punch in a date anyways. Right above that is type. This is another important option you want to select. This is more so just for the file status in Skyslope itself, not really related to the checklist. So if this was a listing we'd converted, it would be a listing sold. But since we're just representing the buyer only, we're going to go ahead and just choose sale, and that's all we need. So click that once to select it. Now let's go back over here to the left and pick up where we left off. Source, choose how you found out about it. Should be on here. I'm going to go ahead with personal referral. Page refresh, so let's scroll back down and pick up from the office lead. Chances are it's a no. Now we got the closing date. Don't panic about the closing date. This is not final. This can be changed later because chances are right now you don't know exactly when it's going to close. So I'm going to click this closing date field and just choose my estimate. Essentially to the right is acceptance date. Also, you can estimate this as well. This can also be changed later once you have a confirmed acceptance date. Alright, everything else looks good in red. We can hit next at the bottom right corner. Alright, it took us on, so we know we weren't missing anything. Now we're on the contacts page. Now, of course, we want to start off with the seller. We can use the search bar right here to type in a name and find someone that we've used before. So there's Tony. We've used his information before, so it was stored. We can click his name. Everything fills in. All that was really needed here was his first and last name. The other stuff's optional. We hit save when we're done. The button changes to edit. That's how I know we're done. So we hit next to continue on to the buyer. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and punch in a brand new contact. We'll put it in for me. I'm buying this house. Put in my first name, my last initial only. Now phone number is required for the buyer. So let's go ahead and punch in a phone number here. Again, if any of these fields is something that's required that you don't actually have at the moment, you can punch in placeholder information. As you can see here, I just put in a bunch of zeros. That'll suffice for now. Hit save when you're done. You could add a new purchaser if you wanted to, like a second person, maybe it's a husband and wife. But we're done, so let's continue on to title escrow attorney. Now there's 3 contacts here, but only one of them at minimum is required to move on. I'm going to fill in a title, agent that I've used before, Natasha, pre-filled information, hit save, moving on to the next one. Agent representing other side. So who's representing the seller side? Remember, we created this as just a transaction, so somebody's probably got the seller. So that was Steve. We used him before, so we punch in his information. We do need to fill in his office, his company. Everything looks good. Hit save. That's now done. And once those top 4 have been done, you've now got a submit button. Click that to finalize this page and move on to the next one. So let's continue. And now we're on the commission page. This is the last page that you need to fill out and submit before the rest of the file is unlocked and you can get to work. So scroll down here and see what's required. Notice the sale price already carried over from that first page where we entered it. Sale commission is what's required here. That's the only thing we need to punch in. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 3 there. When I tab, notice that it does the math for me on the right. Everything else looks good. You can add in additional breakdowns, TC fees and whatnot. We're good with what we have, so let's hit submit, and there you go. Your file is ready. Notice now you've got more tabs along the top: checklist, documents, log, etc. So here is the requirements based off that checklist we chose on page 1. What we can do now is just go through and see what we need. We can go to the documents page, start uploading our paperwork, and start getting everything ready for review. Well, hopefully everything went according to plan for you. If you ran into anything that didn't get covered in this video, please chat, call, or email 24/7 support. Myself or someone else will be happy to help you out with that. Good luck.